Alright, we're back. Okay, so now get more beating going on here. Okay, I gotta get these bushings into this cover here. This is not a flat surface to press on. So when you're in the press, it does this. So it's hard to make these things do what you need to do when they're rocking and rolling all over the place like this. So you can cheat by putting stacks of rags in there like that, kind of block it. Put cardboard in there to get it more secure, kind of eyeball it what you need to do, and then push on it, and then it still kind of moves around a little bit, but you get close enough and push it in with the press. That's one way of doing it. The other way is just beating on with a hammer. We're going to try beating on it with a hammer and see what happens. So this one here, I got the bushing cut. A little bit of burr right here on the surface, which you can't really see, but you might hear it. So I just took that off. That way it doesn't leave a big scar mark trying to go in the cover. Now the inner one in here, we can't really do anything about it. That's not really that important, but if you want to get that out, you can try to cut it out with a deburring bit or something like that, pocket knife and knock it off, however you want to do it. You can try to get it out. Here's a little deburring tool, one variation of one. You can try to get in there and get that. The problem is the deburring tool is smaller than my hole, so I can't use this. It doesn't fit. So you can try other things, like pocket knives. Go in there like that and scrape them out a little bit. Wonder why your pocket knife is always dull. Could be from doing stuff like this with it, could it be? Be careful you don't get yourself. You can hear how it's cutting. A little blip, tried to poke myself. Good thing my pocket knife's dull. And just kind of go like that. And I took most of it out. So there you go. Close enough. So this is going to go in here. We have to line the hole up with the hole over here. So if you don't know where this hole is, you can mark it. So this one here is right here. So this is our dowel hole, this is our oil hole. Line up your oil hole. When you're all done, the marks should line up too. If you marked them correctly, so everything's lined up. We just beat them on in the hole. So we already had our two pressing blocks out here from earlier. We'll go back and get that handle we put back in here. Here's your driver. I like using the big diameter. Makes it easier not to screw up. You can also use a real big diameter if you want to. It's even harder to screw up. Get on there and bang! Okay, make sure everything's lined up close enough to how you want it. It's pretty good to me. You go like that. Sorry, I forgot to put the Loctite on it. Might be a little bit late. Probably a little late. It's tight. It's alright. That's what they make small fingers for. Now my finger's not as small as some girl finger, but it's small enough to get in there and lubricate the inside of the hole with it. There you go. And we'll put a little bit on the outside too, probably a small finger again. And you put it on here on the outside, and just go around the outside like this. Doesn't take much. Okay, she's lubricated. Now we need to make this go kind of straight. You see how it's not straight. When I hit it out, the cover rocked. That's what happens. So we gotta block it so it quits rocking so bad. A couple wraps on it. Try to make it go flat. See, it's not going flat yet. Good now. See what's going in, nice and flat, straight. See how our marks are lined up still. Probably one more. Hear that hit? See? Solid, see? Okay, it's all the way in there now. It's flat against the surface. You look at your oil hole gallery, it's lined up. And then if you blow air through that, it should come out the other side. Because you can't really see the hole through the inside. But it should line up. But you look at it from this side, I can see the light through the hole at the bottom. I don't know if I can get it with the cameras like that, but it's you can see where it's lined up. All else fails, put a little airline to it. Put your finger on the inside of the hole in here. Oop. Down here. And blow through the top up here, and you should feel it. Blows pretty hard. Lots of good oil flow. So that one's installed perfectly. Alright, so that was the easy one. And they're all about the same. Okay, now we get to the other side. That was this bushing. Now this one here, you need to mark the hole so you know where it's at again. Because you can't really see it once it's installed, obviously. So it's marked where the hole is, see? Remark this one so I can see it better. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put this one in here, line it up, bang her on in there. And here we're going to double it up on this side right here, get a little more support. So that way it stays more flat when you beat on it. This time we're going to be able to put the Loctite on first. It doesn't take much, just a little bit. Try not to put it where the hole is, because you don't need Loctite in your hole. It's not a good place for it. It can go in your motor. Loctite in your motor is a bad thing. The roller bearings do not need to be Loctited. Not what we're into. Same deal, put a little bit on there. I stop at the hole so it doesn't go in the hole. Go back around over here. And I go right around the lube it. I don't lubricate all the way up this side because if you shove it in, it goes up anyway. Kind of self-lubes. Okay. Loctite's good. Okay, same thing, we'll line up on our hole. Double check everything. Looks good. Love tap just to get it in there. Double check your alignments. Everything looks pretty darn good. Looks like it's kind of going in halfway straight. Yeah, it's a little bit high on this side here. What a shocker. Okay. halfway straight now. Looks like it's going in there pretty straight now. So start getting it to go in. These bushings are going in pretty tight. This cover has brand new cover. It's got tight holes in it. So it goes in pretty tight. So you gotta hit them pretty good. One more will do it. There it is. I bang it much light time just to make sure it's full in all the way. It still is not in all the way. It hit hard, but look at the edge, it's sticking up. That is not good. The bushing has bottomed out in the hole, but it's not all the way down. That is very bad, because they didn't cut the hole deep enough. And I didn't measure it, because usually you don't have to. That is not good. See how it's sticking up? Fucking aftermarket junk. That is a problem. Now let's see if I can force it in. Nope, it is not going any deeper. So that is a no-go situation. Gotta pull it back out. So you just destroyed a nice expensive bushing because I didn't make the cover correctly. Nice. That very rarely happens, so I don't check them all the time. I don't think about it. Alright, it's in there nice and tight too, as you can tell. And as I recall, that's the one that the tool didn't fit in there very well either. And I should have remembered that, but I forgot. Let's see, this tool we had to use. We'll use a combination of different holders. Yep. That one. Yep, that one. I always like when I screw stuff up. There's no room for it back in there either. Yep, I should have remembered that, but I didn't. Let's see, I'd use a special bar also, as I recall. I used a drill bit to get in there. Alright. Drills come in different sizes. Pick one that falls in where you need it. too deep. Too deep because I can't put it any deeper. Yeah, could probably make it work, but. Back up one size. Use a brass punch to not kill your bit too much. That's good for that too, I'm sure. Alright. Fun, fun, fun. Let's see if it's going to come out or not. The Loctite is not going to be helping. Came up that far. Size are we? Inch 15/16. Got our zip gun at. Should be right in front of me. Yeah. Hiding it from myself. Yeah, did not come out. That bush is destroyed now. 100%. So you just pull the tool right out spirally through it. It's not enough to grab a hold. The same problem I had before, except this time the bushing's in there with Loctite. It's on there a lot better. I think it started to come up slightly, but I'm not sure. Definitely not enough. You only get a couple attempts at doing this and you're destroyed. Okay, that needs to go in quite a bit deeper. Need to be, so I'm only in there about that deep. I need to get in a lot deeper. Okay, so now we know how deep we need to go. We got to find out how small of a drill bit we put in there to actually make that happen. See, I'm only going about this far in the drill bit, so this part here is expanding out. You can see how it's bending it, so it makes it not work. Okay. See how far the drill goes in. It's going right down to their tip right there and expanding the very, very tip of it. A bit bigger. There you go. almost all the way in. It's right at the very bottom here, so that's where I want to be at. Okay, so what diameter is that? What is that? 338 or so, 336, something like that. Okay. That's where the old spot was in it. It's a long ways from being all the way in. Now I need something to beat that in there with. Something small. I don't have a little small brass punch to use. Too big. Ah. And then punch. Clearing out my tools. See what happens. Yep. I knew that wasn't coming. Pretty much not going to come out that way. I'm going to do something different. So I'm going to have to basic board out, cut the damn thing out real thin, put it in the milling machine, hold this thing in there at some weird angle, try to cut it all out, get that piece of crap out of there, and hopefully not screw up the cover anymore. This piece of shit's already screwed up. So that is a problem. So pretty well destroying all my tools. This thing is getting all rounded off because it's being yanked out of there. The bushing's getting all screwed up too. So pretty much done for the night on this one. Alright.